Hello everyone, it's Karina with Karina Loves to Plan. Welcome back to my channel. So I have here basically all of the planners and journals that I am using so far for 2024. They do look a little more than what I started the year with, but I think that was because I also didn't include two of these at the beginning because I didn't count them towards my planner count because they're not planners necessarily, but whatever. Okay, so this will be a bit of a chatty video trying to take you through what I'm using each of these for and how they are working out for me. So let's first start with the big one here, which is my Sterling Ink A5 planner. And this has 52 GSM. Is it 52 GSM? It has Tomoe River paper, but it's the new Sanzen Tomoe River paper. And you can already tell it's getting chunky in just where I put pictures. But the reason that I decided to switch to this really midway through 2023 was because I appreciated the more neutral, less colors in the weekly spreads, but I also appreciated the daily pages in the back that didn't have a Japanese quote at the bottom. I felt like I could really make use of the space. And so far, how has this been going for me? Well, here at the beginning, I have actually been listing things like what I've ordered. Ooh, I have fallen behind on that, so I need to catch up. But what I've ordered so far for 2024, I was keeping a tab here of movies that my husband and I have watched. And this is not movies that we're revisiting. These are new movies to what we are normally doing. And we're trying to work through all of the Disney Plus movies, A through Z. We've taken a little bit of a break, but I will talk about that more. So I've used these two blank pages for those. I have not used the goal breakdown. And then I was going to start using these for habit tracking. I don't really use these. I could be using them for birthdays and things, but I don't really. There's other places that I put that. But really, when it comes to the habit tracker, I almost feel like I need a habit tracker for the act of tracking my habits because tracking them in here feels like extra work for me. So I haven't been doing it, and I'm okay with that. When I look back at these, I think I've actually been pretty good with keeping track of them in my weekly spreads, and I'll show you that as well. So I haven't been using these pages, and I am okay with that. It's habit tracking for me. I like to do it to an extent that it's still healthy for me versus me becoming too overly obsessed with it, if that makes sense. Then when we get to the monthly section, these are very heavily utilized. I use them for social media. I basically track what posts or what videos I need to film. I track my YouTube stats and my affiliates. I also track here what sticker shops I'm going to be using their stickers from. So JoJo's Pretty Paper Shop, The Giving Girl, things like that. That helps me to shop my stash. And so far, I'm still using it the same way that I have before, but I love using the monthly spread like this. It's so beneficial for me for my social media, but also planning out what I'm going to be decorating my planners with. So still working very, very well for me. And then I do a bit of pre-planning as well with these sticky notes that I got from Stationery Pal. Some of these actually move over from month to month, so I can use these sticky notes over and over again, which is very, very helpful. And beforehand, I've already put the monthly script in here, and these are from my shop. So then going into the weeklies, these are actually working really well for me. I started the year off strong with using emojis for everything, and I found myself really enjoying that. I'm glad that I got back into it, and it's just so fun being able to look back on these and use it as memory keeping. And oh gosh, it is just fun looking back on these. And some people are like, I have nothing I do all day. What do you keep track of? And I think, I finished an audiobook. I walked Lucy. I had lots of meetings. So there's some days where I don't fill that out, and that's okay. And then I have a habit tracker down here, but I also keep track of my sleep and my workouts. I don't beat myself up if I don't completely fill it out because that's part of life. And then we have vacation here from last week where no emojis, but really just writing everything down that happened. And I really love looking back on that. So the weekly pages are working out just the way I like them. This is this week's, and again, weekly working out really, really well for me. The next section then is the dailies, and these have been working out well for me too, because at first the pages are basically numbered, but there's no dates. They're all just, gosh, they're all just blank like this. So I had to go in here ahead of time and count how many pages I was going to be using for every month, and so far that has worked out well. I have a currently page for my currently inked, goals red, and then my journaling pages, I have loved stamping in them, even though it does take a little bit of time adding pictures, but I do love the format of the 2 columns now. I really like how this is turning out. I do have to be more wary about where I'm placing photos and pictures, because you can see I'm normally placing them up here or down here. So the middle is kind of a little bit sagging in there. But overall, this planner is working out so well for me, and I'm so glad that I got it. The next planner that is still in my rotation, this started in 2022. It is my A6 5-year journal from Hobonichi. This cover is from Market Leather 1BC on Etsy, and this was actually a custom that he made for me. And I have been in here, this is my 3rd year, and I love it. At the back, I have all of the pens and inks I've used for each month. I do not put any stickers or anything in here. This is just written. I write in the weather, what I'm grateful for, and just a quick synopsis of the day. And now being in my 3rd year, I love looking back on it, and I love writing in this. It doesn't feel like work writing in this. It feels like something I look forward to every single day. So that is my A6 5-year journal. So now we have this pile here. I'm going to start with the passport planner. This is the planner that basically is thrown into my week's wallet, and this is the one that's just on the go. Now, caveat, I don't leave the house that often because I do work from home, but when I do have appointments and things, they go into my monthly, so I can pre-plan, and then for the actual week itself, I will write what needs to happen. This is not one that I spend too much time decorating. It's more just a throw in my wallet, need to have if I do ever go out. And then I've started using the back pages because there were so many grid pages in the back and I didn't know what to use them for. I've started using them for doodles, for Zentangles, and I've actually really enjoyed this practice, but I also love the size of this. So I will definitely, I say will definitely, but I think the passport planner is going to have a place in my future. I don't put too much pressure on myself to fill this out. Really, it's more of a functional need for this. I didn't even fill this out for the week that we were on vacation. This was more just for pre-planning and knowing family events and things and what we need to go out for the week. So this is my Sterling Ink passport planner in the vertical layout, and I love it, love it, love it. Oh, and this is a pencil board made by my lovely friend. I actually cut down a blotting paper just so that it could fit perfectly in here. The next planner is my common planner in the N2 vertical compact. So this is the week's size, and I'm using this for work. And I don't really use the goal breakdown in the front. I haven't really used the yearly tracker. I was using this for my shop, but I haven't really used it. I don't know why. I haven't been writing things down. I've been very good at keeping stuff in my head for this, but also kind of putting some things in my daily to-dos in my A5 planner. So I haven't used this as much as I would have liked to, and that's okay. And then the weeklies in here I use for my everyday work, but I also split it into meetings that I have for work and then the things I need to do for my shop. So maybe that's why I haven't really used the monthly overview as much. And so far it has worked out really well for me. It's just pen, there's no stickers that go in here, and then in the back I've got notes as well. So really just a very functional planner. I used to decorate my week's planner as of last year, and it just became something that I didn't really find myself that I needed to do. I needed to just make this functional, and I really like the vertical layout now for work because it keep track of all of my meetings, but then I can also keep track of shop stuff when I'm not in my working hours. So far working really well. Just a functional planner, not one that I need to decorate. Really like it. So then these two look like brother and sister. They're both from Galen Leather. This one was a B6 planner that I had purchased last year, and I thought it was going to replace my B6 journal that I used for my ink and pen for 2023, and this just filled up so nicely. But then I decided to do an A5 size for that instead. So what am I now using this for? I am using this for a movie journal. So like I said, in my A5, I was keeping track of the new movies that my husband and I are watching this year. The reason I decided to keep track of it was, one, we set a goal that we wanted to watch all of the Disney Plus movies A through Z, and there's a caveat to that as well. If there are movies that we feel like we really don't want to watch, or there's a series that we don't want to go through, we have the power of veto, basically. So it's not every single movie, but we are working our way through it. And the main point of that is to expose ourselves to movies that we wouldn't have normally watched anyway. And so far, I'm really liking the practice. We have taken a little bit of a break from it. March was a crazy, crazy month for us. But I've also included some movies that weren't part of Disney Plus, like for example, Oppenheimer. We watched Mission Impossible, The Dead Reckoning. I really liked that one. But overall, we've been going through them pretty steadily, and then kind of stopped at Kung Fu Panda 4 because we all saw that in the movies or at the theater with the kids. But I think it's really just a fun way to keep track of the new movies that we're watching, because we're not really a series watching type of family. We like movies and we like working through them. And let's see. It has stopped because we haven't watched any new movies since Kung Fu Panda 4. I think maybe there's one. Yeah, there's one that isn't in here that I need to put in here. But otherwise, I'm mostly caught up in this. It doesn't take a lot of effort to do this. I basically draw in the lines. These are all printed on sticker paper and then cut out using my Silhouette. Really easy process, but I love seeing all of the movie posters. I think it's so fun. I'm still trying to figure out the best format for these and what's gonna work. I like using my date stamp, especially the fact that it's French. I find that funny, but it's just gonna be something fun to look back on, a little scrapbook of all the movies we've ever watched, and just something fun, something fun. So this is a fun journal. Not one I feature very often, but it's also not one that I pressure myself too much to update if we haven't watched a ton of new movies. And then this one is my pen and ink journal for 2023. I keep track of, I started the year by swatching all of the ink bottles I have, and then all of the ink samples and all of the pens, and then keep track every month in here. I cannot wait for this to get nice and big and fat like my previous pen and ink journal. If I'm looking at this, I'm actually almost a little over halfway, and it's not even June yet. So I'm looking forward to be able to fill this up. So that is my Galen Leather. And then we have more of my planner pile. So this is the fun journal, I guess. This would also count as a journal. So these are more the planners / journal, and these are more the journals. All right, so how is everything looking for Q1? You know what, so far, so good. I don't feel like I've pressured myself into too much this year. I like the load of planners and journals that I have. It's manageable, and they're all suiting the function that I have them for, which is perfect. I don't feel the need to go searching for a new planner or a new journal. I'm pretty happy with what I have. I don't want to call it planner piece. I want to just say that I'm happy with the current setup. That's all. Because I feel like if I say planner piece, I'm almost going to jinx it. So let's not do that. All right, but that is it for me. Thank you all so much for watching. What does your planner update look like for Q1? Let me know down in the comments below. Once again, thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. Thanks again, and have yourselves a great day.